Alright. Let's do this shit. Can't wait to get my new, damn mic stand holding thing. It'll be pretty cool. So I think, yeah, this is a mission I've already done before. But I want to see how good the loot is. Because it's been pretty garbage on most of my runs. I only want to do this.
Bring them down.
For a little bit, and then I don't know what to do. That's actually why I haven't been streaming for the past hour and a half. I can't make up my mind. And then I joined a guy's live stream of a guy I've known for a while. And I have to admit, pretty disappointed in what I saw. He was talking about controversial topics and politics, and that's the thing. Eh? And I was just like, wow. Just couldn't believe what I was hearing. It's pretty sad. Oh, piss off now. Yeah, so I have a feeling, like I said, that this might be a short stream. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it. I want to play games. I'm going to play games regardless. I guess it's one of those funny things where I actually hope not a lot of people join. Oops. There we go. Come get some. That's right, I just crushed his throat. Alright, now like I was doing. Until I got rudely interrupted. Holy Jesus. Let's do this again. Somebody gets near me, I'm gonna hoof kick them right in the nuts. There we go.
Perfect. I have managed to bypass elevator security.
Ooh. We want some of that. But I guess not. Yeah. Wow. That just bites. I'm just not getting better gear while I'm on Thor. It was kind of weird when I was playing The Incredible Hulk. I was just leveling up at a rate that I was finding acceptable. Like I was content with what I was getting.
While you work your way down the hive,
well, this is good if nobody comes in.
About it.
Good.
In the next few minutes. I shall just cancel it.
An elite AIM team is close by and on alert. Updating your HUD.
But, you know, let's just see what happens first. Before I make any brash decisions.
Now is the time.
Every member of the elite team must be defeated.
Oh, they'll be defeated already. Just like that. Ooh. Hello, Ian. How's it going? No, no, no. Aw. Seriously. That's not very nice now. That's no way to treat the god of thunder. So what are you up to? Or have been up to today, rather? Still shite gear. Yeah. I need stuff a little bit better than what I got, not a little bit worse. That's not how I'm gonna level up.
One of their agents is down.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I've already been streaming for
Another agent down.
only for 5 minutes. Yeah, this is like the last mission I'm doing. No, eh? Yeah, no. Some of them, they'll tell you what you need to do. I'm having a hard time. I'm getting a bit burnt out with having to power level some of my alts in order to do certain missions. Doesn't happen often, but once in a while you do. Don't get some. That's it. Like the Undertaker. Choke slam.
I'm here till Thursday. Try the field.
And no, that wasn't supposed to sound like the Undertaker.
That squad member has been neutralized.
Let's do it again, because the first time wasn't enough.
Another enemy defeated.
That's it. We popped them like a pretzel. Oh, I don't even know if I'm going to do all of this, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, these are long as piss. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to stick around. Oof. I forgot this is the one where you gotta... Oh, man. There's 6 floors of enemies, and anyways. We'll see how it goes. If I get bored, I don't care. That's why my streams say random games and chatting, after all. That does include just randomly going, nope, not feeling it. And that's part of my...
Decided on a theme song yet?
my OCD. I don't know, it's weird.
Sorry. Tony put me up to it.
Sometimes I can do pretty good, for the most part, and play a game for a while. You could see the look of the green I got for Hulk. The nice big bright green with the purple shorts, kind of like that iconic Hulk. So that's
AIM has a set of turbines powering
it's pretty
one
fun.
of their
That's my favorite
emergency
outfit.
generators. Disable them.
Enemies.
Oh boy, these guys are nasty. Oh. Choke them out.
Another foe vanquished.
Wow. He's really on that choking spree. I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah, definitely the gear. It's been slow on Thor. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how slow it's been. Oh yeah, I'm maxed out now, level 50. This is my first level 50, by the way. Some of these skills I just don't give a crap about, but... whatever. Might as well. Do that. These are done. Those are done. Percent willpower per second members in the area. This one does massive circular hazard zone. Nope. Yes, that one. Yeah, that should be good. Done, done, done. And why not? What's this one? Increase heroic energy? Nope. Nope. Yes. There, that should be good. Yeah, this is not what I remember this being.
You need to access the terminal to reach the turbines.
How far in the game are you? Are you like post-game? I actually played Spider-Man today. To be honest with you, I'm kind of tempted to buy the DLC for Spider-Man. I'm kind of getting to a point where I love this game. I'm not bored of it at all, but I'm not going to lie. After playing for like 150 hours already, or however many hours I've been playing, I'm a little bit like burnt out. It's not a bad thing. In recent memory, oh my good lord, this is one of my favorite games.
Watch your eyes, everyone! That turbine is finished. Well done.
It's definitely action-packed. But I've been looking at guitars, I've been just doing different things. I've been thinking of resubscribing to World of Warcraft, you know, that game that's supposed to be my main go-to on my account. Haven't really been doing any of that. I gotta say though, action's so good. And it runs a lot smoother too than it did on the first couple days. Yeah, I just haven't bothered renewing it. I mean, I've spent, I don't know, well over $500 on games in just the last month and a half. Every bit of money counts. And with how much I've been not playing WoW, I already haven't played WoW in like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's like, why pay $20 for something if I'm not even going to play it? I am taking a break in a few minutes from this game. I've been, I've just been playing like basketball, football, just the stuff to quickly get into, you know? I like them because they're a change of pace from always playing action-packed games. You know, I could play Call of Duty, that's free. There's no subscription, right? But World of Warcraft is still my main go-to. That's still the image. I want, oh boy. People to, know me as. And then whatever random new games come out, of course. Wow. I was gonna say Thor's on fire, but more like lightning. A little bit more appropriate.
Secret weapon.
But the thing that I've been doing in World of Warcraft, which I may go to, I mean, watch me in 5 minutes and I'll hop on. Yeah. Loktar! No, that's not how he sounds, but... You get the idea. No, I like Thor a lot. I like Marvel characters, because a lot of Marvel characters, you know, the comic book characters, they're usually very, like, noble, and, you know, they have discipline and a good attitude, and, do you know what I mean? I get bored of games sometimes. It's always like, yo, man, we're gonna get him. Because there's a lot of games like that, too. And depending on the action, sure, I might not mind it too much, but... I get bored if every game is like Grand Theft Auto.
The generator is no longer functioning.
I need to sit down something and watch the whole Guardians movie series. I think I watched some of it. All of it? I don't remember. I know I watched the Avengers not long ago. I went on a little bit of a binge. And I watched them all. I liked it. It was good. It's not what I was expecting. Some movies are kind of crap. Like, I didn't like all the Spider-Man movies. I liked the movie as in the concept, the idea behind Spider-Man. My goodness, but some movies... I don't know.
So far, I can only confirm we
Yeah,
have entered an upper-tier AIM construction facility.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
I didn't
That's
really
sort of
like them.
vague.
I'm working to find specifics.
I liked it in that,
The local network security
I
is
needed my
proving
fix.
annoyingly impressive.
Keep digging, Jarvis.
but just the
We'll keep
plot,
fighting.
the story, you know, it wasn't well produced in my opinion.
Head for the location on your HUD.
It scratched the itch a little bit, but there's other movies that I feel were done much better, even though I may not have enjoyed the movie as much. Like the Avengers, in my opinion, the production quality was much higher. Yeah, no problem. But, you know, to each their own.
I'm beaming with pride. Knock him down. You fall to the son of Odin.
Yeah. I'm not really gearing up that much in here. Yeah, that's fine. The gear is just junk.
These enemies
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've looted something. Look at that. It's always weaker than what I have. And I'm telling you this right now, it's not a conspiracy theory. Since there's only a few people in here, I'll tell you, Purim, a guy that, that I like. You know, he's a nice guy. He's laid back. He does Joker impressions, and told him I liked his videos a while ago. And I won't get into too many different topics because I don't want to start getting into arguments. Not in the mood for it, but
must be
yeah,
defeated.
I went into his live stream. I mean, I already knew he was kind of like this, but I went into his live stream, and he's not a troll. Like, he absolutely believes what he says, and I just went in there, and I just told him what I thought. But I wasn't nasty about it, and he wasn't nasty in return. He was just like, oh no, Phil, you just gotta... No, if you look at this, go look that up. I'm telling you, you'll see all the proof there. Like, he's very mellow about it, so it's hard to hate the guy. But, wow. Wow. What I heard was just, it blew me away. I couldn't believe it. So I'll get, political, controversial a little bit, because there's, like, barely anybody in here. If there was, like, 50 people in here, I might not bother. But, yeah, he essentially said that, the whole George Floyd thing, and, with all the riots that have been going on, and there's always people on both sides of of protesting, where there's a difference between protesting and rioting, obviously. And I'm not here to start debating who does more of them than the other. That's not what the point of the conversation is. But he essentially said that George Floyd's death was staged. The cop, Chauvin, that killed him by putting his knee on the back of his neck. He's a crisis actor. He was a part of Sandy Hook, because that didn't happen either. He's essentially Alex Jones' twin brother, but without screaming, without all the obscenities, and the swearing, and the vulgarity, and the hatred. He's very calm about it, and he doesn't freak out like Alex Jones. But yeah, he thought the whole thing was made up, and then he was like, this whole I can't breathe thing, you know, with George Floyd who got killed. Yeah, no problem. He basically said that the whole thing's just a hoax, because if he was having problems breathing, he would have been able to say, I can't breathe. But I can speak from experience. You know, when I used to do martial arts, or when I was sick a few times, it's kind of hard to compare that to being choked, but I was in a position where I was literally losing the ability to breathe, and I was still able to say it. Naturally, when it goes full course, you won't actually be able to say anything. I get that. So he was kind of being a smartass, but without actually being a jerk about it. Anyways, it was just kind of disappointing, because it's politics and all that shouldn't divide you, but there's just like not a single thing that we agree on. The only thing we have in common is I do Batman impressions, he does Joker impressions, and sadly that's kind of how we met. But in every other aspect of life, from A to Z, wow, we're on the complete 100% polar opposite sides of history.
Don't worry, I got you.
And the people in his stream, yes, well, with the knee, but yeah, you know, George Floyd there, the one that, where it's started to spark some of the protests there about a month or two ago. Remember, and you had the white cop, he had his hands in his pocket, and he said he felt threatened. Meanwhile, George Floyd was in handcuffs on his stomach with his hands tied behind his back, but somehow he was still a threat. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into the technicalities of that, 'cause some people argue that, but just saying that the whole thing is like a setup, it's a government stage, you know, like just like 9/11, just like Sandy Hook. It's crazy, because all these conspiracy theorists, and then he's all on board with the whole like Obama's not a real US citizen and he was an illegitimate president and blah 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 blah. It's funny how I don't think they plan on killing him, so I don't think it was a full... No. Well, that's the other thing. It's, you know. Yes, I don't even know what that means, but I know that it's not good. I briefly looked into it. I forget what canon, yeah, means, but it's a conspiracy. But the guy is nice, though. Yeah, he's probably the nicest conspiracy theorist I've ever met. He's really wild, but very calm, not hateful. He doesn't call you an idiot for, you know, thinking otherwise. But his people in the chat, he had about 20 people in his chat, in his live stream, and, you know, just like, wow. They were a little bit, but that's like that all the time, right? If you have 20, 25 people, don't forget all these people that watch him believe in what he says. He's an Alex Jones clone. I don't know what canon is, canon or whatever it's called, is. I just know it's a conspiracy theory. That's bullshit. I've just never actually taken a moment to read the definition of what it actually means to a T. But they probably are in that. Isn't it funny that all these people are all into the same conspiracy theories? I've never met a conspiracy theorist that's like, no, 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 no. No, 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 this is probably what happened here, but when it comes to Sandy Hook, oh no, that was real. You know, and I told him, oh, and he thinks coronavirus is a hoax. It's a ploy. And I'm just like, no, it's not. You would have to have had Trump and Zing, the lead organizers of WHO, in those countries, almost every reputable leader, you know, in the world, around the world, in every habitable continent, be on board. Like, everybody would have to be on board. It's like the whole, like, saying the COVID was made in a lab. No, it could have been in a lab because they do a lot of coronavirus testings in China, coincidentally. But to say that someone went maliciously and went and genetically engineered it, there's proof that there was no trace of it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for, because I'm half asleep. It wasn't manipulated. It wasn't played with. And yeah, but these guys, they're all on the same page. Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. If everybody's dying and it's so bad, why was this hospital empty? And oh, Jesus. It is a guy group of far-right that started to post daily far-right propaganda that I was really out there. QAnon turned out to be a husband and wife who were making things and started to use to scam people. Not sure how it's running. Oh, okay. But anyhow, it's sad because this guy's like, you know, he's right into it. Into the whole thing, and he thinks that certain groups of protesters, they're all 100%, all of them, not some of them, all of them.
Never miss the old days, Tony.
Their main purpose is to riot and bring destruction and conquer and divide, and they're hateful people, like Antifa and stuff like that. I mean, Antifa just means anti-fascist. I'm Antifa in that I'm against fascism. Right? Now again, are there some nutcases on all sides? Well, of course. I've met some neo-Nazis that weren't violent, you know what I mean? And some people that are against Nazism that are violent. You see what I'm saying? So on the one flip side, sure, you got the one neo-Nazi who's a more hateful person because they have an ideology that's very hateful, but they're not violent. Get it? And you can have another person who's against that, which obviously I'm against that, but they're more violent. You know, they speak just like crazy talk. Like, are you sure you're not one of the Nazis, you know, with how you're speaking? So there's always going to be a little bit of that. It's like the whole cop thing. Not all cops are racists and power trippers, but unfortunately a lot of them are. And you remember this, when I stepped on the wrong side of the law for a short while, even after when I cleaned up my act and I dropped everybody that I was hanging out with even well before I met you. I was getting harassed constantly, over and over, every day. One cop, that's Salam Barakat, he's a nutcase. He purposely dropped my Sony MP3 player in a puddle of water, and he ran a check on me in the CPIC computer over 17 times in 3 minutes, which is why I went to the police station. And when I opened up an investigation on him, I call them internal affairs, even though that's not the proper term, because in the States they're called internal affairs to police, to police, to police. Sorry, give me a second here. Quick, give me the loot. What's the latest version of GTA? I have no idea. I don't really play GTA 5. Welcome back, Ian. Almost done talking about the wild stuff, but yeah. So again, it's like with me, you know, I had every right to have a negative outlook on the police, because even when I was minding my own business, I was getting harassed. I'll never forget that time as Salam Bearcat. You know, he had a handful of cocaine, and a lot of people wouldn't believe this, but again, I don't give a rat's ass. I know it happened. I don't get anything from making this up. It doesn't make me look cool. But he came up to me and he was just like, oh, so what are we up to? We think because we're not hanging around people, and you think because you've been keeping your nose clean that we don't think you're still maybe you know, doing stuff. And I was like, yeah, there's nothing going on. And he goes, oh, I wouldn't give me attitude if I were you. I was like, I'm not giving you attitude. You're constantly harassing me. You're constantly profiling me. You're following me every single day. I'm never with anyone. I'm always quiet. I keep to myself. I mind my own business. You talk to me. I talk back to you. I don't tell you to go F yourself or any of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, there are high power missions. I'll get to that in a second, sorry. So the cop just throws a bunch of cocaine at my feet in little bags. And he's like, Phil, it'd be kind of unfortunate if we, you know, arrested you for possession. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's not my stuff. Right. Who are the people gonna believe? You? Or me with the badge? You know what I mean? And his partner was right there. And I'm just like, wow. You know, and that's even when you're being nice to them. You're not back talking to them, and you're actually keeping your nose clean. It's pretty wild. But again, are they all like that? Well, of course not. They're not all like that. Sometimes you get the impression that you start to wonder, are they all a little bit like that? But, no, what I've learned is there's a lot more of them that are like that than I realized. But you still can never say just everybody's the same, and that goes with protesters, right? Not every protester is a rioter. Not every rioter, you know, not every protester is a looter, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's always people that aren't taking it to the extreme. Anyways, this guy, like I said, I've been talking to him for a long time. I just didn't realize how, you know, different him and I were. Like, I mean, different. If we're not talking, you know, Joker and Batman impressions, there is no talking. Like, it's can't have a conversation about anything. So it's kind of sad. Hello, how's it going? If I'm not mistaken from my small screen, you've got Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, but I think you have a picture of Dean Ambrose? I can't see because, like, the picture's, like, literally half the size of my pinky nail. But yeah, the high-powered missions, I haven't found those yet. There.
Excellent. Another agent down.
That took him out.
Not doing so hot.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do this whole thing. It's not giving me jack shit. Plus, I've already done the mission.
With the gun.
Yeah. I mean, it's slowly getting up there. I'm doing the Heart of the Monster, and it's different. Heart of the Monster.
I'm in trouble here.
I'm not too sure what that is, like off by heart. The mission I'm doing now is a hive mission.
Another enemy defeated.
And it's supposed to be like, ooh, like a big deal. Lots of gearing up, and I'm not seeing any of that crap. And I'm now maximum level. I'm still getting a bunch of greens, and I'm never getting anything that's above what I already have. It's always lower. Generally, when you try to gear up, you get stuff that's a little bit higher than what you have, not lower. I'm not trying to downgrade my character. See, even if it's just a point, like it's always lower. So it's a little bit annoying. My Hulk got to 100 power level pretty quick. Whereas my Thor, he's just struggling. I was at like 86 2 hours ago, and I've barely gone up a couple points. I mean, this isn't World of Warcraft here. It's not supposed to take, you know, weeks or whatever to get the power up, but anyhow. So yeah, so that's my rant about that guy, like I said. Nice guy. Just, you know, has a lot of interesting theories.
Are you sure?
And he just... Wow. Still boggles my mind. He's probably one of those people that think that no one's been on the moon yet. Everything's fake. Now, I question everything I hear and see, don't get me wrong. But I don't blindly accept or reject everything I see and hear either. I'm always that kind of guy that's like, well, you know. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that we've talked about over the years that I can see why some people would have those theories about whatever it is they think. You know what I mean? Like, when you think about it, it's like, okay, I can kind of see why you think that, but did you take the extra time to actually do some critical thinking as to why that's unlikely to be the case? And, yeah.
Head to the terminal so I can get you inside the lab.
But like we've said before, right? You can't win everybody over. It's impossible for everyone in the world to get along. It's been proven throughout history, right? Humans are good at being self-destructive towards others they don't agree with. Well, I guess I'll try to hurry this up since I'm on the last floor. Since I've come this far. But yeah, I'm not too sure what to play next, though.
With a multi-point authentication system.
Kind of see how it goes.
I need access to multiple terminals. The more the better.
I might either do a little bit of football, because I want to see how that new update is.
AIM will attempt to initiate
World of Warcraft is kind of like, eh. I don't know.
You cannot let...
It's all about those bloody queue times, you know? I may someday. I don't know. I'm really picky with games. I think I looked at that one or another one before and I was just like, meh. There's a lot of games I like that I don't even play, because I just don't have time to play them. Pretty sure it's safe to say for a long time to come, World of Warcraft and Call of Duty are probably always going to be like my main two... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Go-to games.
That helps, thank you.
Well, at least... Oh, this isn't even the last one.
I'm inside AIM security.
Where the hell's the other one? Oh. That's what it is.
Beginning infiltration.
But yeah, World of Warcraft I would play so much more if it didn't have 10 to 20 minute queue times. That's by far the biggest turn-off. Yeah, because I love just doing random battlegrounds, nothing elitist, and just having some casual fun, going to bear form, bring everybody on the battlefield to face the claws of justice, and I just love it, but can only do a couple battlegrounds an hour. There's a lot of downtime to WoW, and in the meantime, that's where sometimes I'll play like a random console game. Right, and I'll have the WoW in the background.
The shutdown protocol is progressing.
But it's still frustrating.
AIM security system. That helps, thank you. I've breached AIM security network.
All right. Wow, this is long. Yeah, because overall, you know, the battlegrounds in WoW, you know, they're good. They're good for me.
I've breached AIM network security. This hive specializes in building adaptoids.
No wonder it needs so much juice.
They appear to be trying to tip the
I have a
balance
lot of fun
power
in
back
BGs.
their
I do
favor.
well. I get
Figures.
like 30, 40
Well, let's take this
kills
place offline and start to
a
tip it
BG.
back.
I barely die once or twice, if at all. Do you know what I mean? Call of Duty's different. It's very, like, you know,
An elite
hectic.
AIM team is
But I
close
enjoy
by
it.
and on alert. Updating your HUD.
This is it. This is the final floor, so it better be good. I might as well get them all. Wow, they do a lot of damage. I played a little bit more of the Spider-Man game today. I have to admit, that one's not too bad. It was kind of nice. Spider-Man and Black Panther, the actor died. There's going to be some other characters actually coming to this game, so they're probably going to add more missions and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what this game brings. But for a 4-player co-op or playing offline with some AI, at least once you beat the game, there was some really stupid missions with some really terrible mechanics. Did we finally get an increase? 83 to 85. Wow, that's a first. I better sit down. Oh, wait, I am. Wow. Actually got an upgrade. I didn't think that was possible.
Hey, sweetheart! I believe I have
But yeah, like I said, of every game that I play, sports, if you really like sports, which you have to really like them, it could be fun to constantly replay that. I never get bored of playing, you know, hockey or baseball or football, any of the sports, really. Oh, no. Don't be kicking my ass. Yeah, that's the part I was worried about. Might have to redo this. I'm going to see if I can somehow make it quicker. If I keep dying for whatever reason, I've already been doing this for 45 minutes, and it's 10 o'clock, to be honest. I actually don't even know how much longer I'm going to be streaming for. Because I do like to...
An elite AIM team is close by and on alert. Updating your HUD.
I do like to relax in bed before I actually try to sleep, like I've mentioned before. I used to go to bed at like 8 o'clock. Play around on my iPad for, you know, an hour or two. But now I don't quite do that. And I'm not like before, like 15, 20 years ago, where I would play a game.
Head for the location on your HUD.
And just hop off and go to bed. I need some downtime. Are you using a GTX 27? No. I don't even remember what I'm using, to be honest. That's an old card. I'm using an RTX Super. To be honest, I don't remember the number. I don't pay attention to that. I just know that it was like the second best graphics card you can buy. That's all I know. It hurt the bank account. Oh, that's fine. You're high and I'm low. You bought the same card. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a good one. I think it's RTX. I don't even remember. I think it's an RTX 2070 Super or something like that. Like I said, I just know that it broke my bank account when I bought it, and that I can run games really well with it, so that's all I know. It's definitely not worth the extra couple of $100 just to get a 10% performance boost on the 2080. I mean, this card here that I have is the most I've ever spent in my entire life on a graphics card. But I enjoy it, so... Just wondering if my PC will get the bottle... Oh, that all depends, right? And it depends what your CPU is. That's what I have. That's what I have. An i7 6700. You're absolutely bottlenecked. You will get games that you will not be able to get 60 frames on Ultra because your CPU is going to be considered weak. It won't be able to handle it, especially with games that aren't well optimized, but for the most part, you'll be able to get by. So, like, I can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on Ultra, but I've got to lock it at 30 frames. Flight Simulator, I got to lock it at 30 frames. If I play any of the Assassin's Creeds and I want that rock-solid 60 frames, you're going to have to drop down to graphics lower than what's on a console, which defeats the purpose of playing a game on a computer, at least for me. So, again, Ultra, maxed right out, but locked at 30 frames. But thankfully, it's not jarring on the eyes to play those games at 30 frames. It's not like, like it's not jittery. They're actually, it's actually pretty smooth. And like I said, it wasn't, you know, worth it for me. Thanks, you two. Are you off to play some WoW now? I think I'm just gonna go to bed soon in a few minutes as well. Well, it depends if you're, Oh, you are? Okay, yeah. Like I said, I might hop in a little bit after, but I don't know. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon for sure. 4K monitors, in my opinion, they're a gimmick. It sounds harsh, but I'll tell you why. It sharpens the resolution, but it also demands that much more power. We're having a hard time running games at 60 frames a second on 1080p on Ultra. Now we want to make our computers work even harder and throw in 4K? No. All it does is it makes things crisper. Don't get me wrong, it looks nicer. But HDR is way nicer than 4K. I will argue that tooth and nail with anybody until the end of time. See, a lot of people, when they compare 4K to 1080p, they're doing something that they're not realizing, or that they're not admitting. They're comparing 4K with HDR to 1080p without HDR, and you can't make that comparison. It completely skews the test. It's inaccurate. If you compare 1080p with HDR to 4K with HDR, I can guarantee you your socks aren't going to be blown off your feet nearly as much as with the HDR on versus off. Very few people will argue that.
We are not alone.
So that's why, to me, I make the bold statement that 4K is pretty much junk. It's, you know, I don't want to have to make my computer work any harder.
The elite team must be defeated.
Warzone, maybe. I don't know. I don't play Warzone. I just play the standard game, which is a smaller... Well, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Red Dead Redemption you can play, but you're going to be playing it locked at 30 frames. You're not going to be playing that at 60 frames. Yeah, I don't know if I even want to bother doing this. Well, I mean, it depends how you have your settings, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 has an incredible amount of, graphical options. I mean, if you copied my settings, I don't like, but you're not going to get more than 30 frames. You'll have to lock it to 30 frames. Don't try and play that game on 60. You're going to have to make it look like a child's drawing, you know what I mean? You'd have to drop the graphics down so bad. It's not worth it. I'd rather the top of the line eye candy at 30 frames than the graphics being like no better than a console at 60. It's like, to me, it's not worth it.
Head for the location on your HUD.
But I mean, to each their own, right? Some people would argue that and say, no, man, 60 frames or nothing. I don't care if it looks like a 2D pencil drawing, I can't do that. That's the whole point why I have games on my console and games on my PC. The games on my PC are the treat. It's the eye candy, right? It's the higher graphical fidelity that you get. Not always the better performance, but for the most part, yes.
Every member of the elite team must be defeated.
My RAM, probably the RAM that you have too, are CPUs. I mean, they're 6 years old, They're amazing CPUs for, what we're doing. But I also stream a lot, and, so there's also that factor that I have to take into consideration. You probably don't. I mean, I don't know what you do, but I stream, I record. So when you try and run, Red Dead Redemption at 60 frames, 1080p or 4K, and you're streaming that shit on top of that, yeah. It's probably doable, but I don't feel like doing three-way RTX 2080 Ti's. You know what I mean? I don't got $3,000 in graphics card to pump into it. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 has some of the most in-depth settings I've ever seen in a game. Yeah, I just keep dying, getting distracted.
One of their agents is down. Excellent. Another agent
Good, there's
down.
like nobody in here. Locking it at 30, literally. Your frames, right? Your frames per second. Don't let it go and try to hit 60. Stop it. Because you won't run that game at 60 frames. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna... You won't hit it, is what I'm saying. You won't hit 60 frames. It won't happen. Not even with a RTX 2080 Ti or Super. It's not going to happen. You want to be flip-flopping between 42 frames and 50 frames back and forth and dropping down to 37. It's going to lag you. You're going to think you're having a seizure, right? If you lock it at 30... You're making your computer work a lot less harder. Like I said, it's not worth turning the graphics down on absolute minimum. And even at that, I don't even think you can run that game at 60. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5, that's different. Grand Theft Auto 5 is old enough that I can run that game pretty much, yeah, on ultra, except for maybe like shadows and a couple things. Maybe not quite on ultra. Those I think I have on high, and that's a rock solid 60 frames per second experience for Grand Theft Auto 5.
The Hive's offline. Is that the only one of those we'll find, Jarvis?
Impossible
But
to say.
definitely not
AIM's
Red Dead.
resources aren't infinite, but they are tenacious.
So if you
Stay
lock it
alert.
at 30, again,
Something tells
30
me
is
they're
sort of
building
like,
more.
Understood.
you don't want to go under 30, right? That's sort of like the minimum any game you want to go is 30. That's what most console games run on, is 30 frames. 80, 84. Oh, there's a decent upgrade. Yeah, I guess we're getting up there slowly. But yeah, I'm gonna head off. Thanks for stopping by, but I am getting a little tired, and quite honestly, it's just dead. I was actually expecting to have a couple more people, like I normally have earlier on in the evening. Quick, because I am getting pretty tired, and I don't have the answers to all your questions. Yeah, maybe. Might be a different brand, but... not to be a prick, I would probably say it depends on your budget. I mean, it depends what you bought exactly, and it's all about... I mean, it's hard for me to answer that, right? Like, I don't know what you're doing. Are you gaming? Are you streaming? Are you looking to game at 60 frames? Are you looking to do 4K? Are you looking to do 30 frames? Do you want this computer to last you 5 years? Did it only cost you $200? There's too many variables that it's almost impossible to answer that question. Me personally, for what I do, I would say it's a waste of money. Yeah. In my opinion, that's not the computer to do that with. I can't do 4K. Unless you plan on running some games at 20 frames a second. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not... You got the graphics card, but the CPU, man, that's a 6-year-old CPU. Games, people always underestimate the power of a CPU. I can't do 4K. You might be able to run Fortnite at 4K, but no offense, that game is fucking ugly. It's not like, you know what I mean? And then again, are you looking to do 4K at 30 frames? That makes a huge difference, right? If you're looking to do 4K at 60 frames, man, you absolutely bought the wrong computer. So basically, games that I run at 60 frames, I don't know if I could do 4K at 30. I don't know the math behind it all, but it's absolutely draining to do 4K, right? Because it's like quadruple the resolution of 1080p. It's huge, like it's quite demanding, right? HDR is nice because HDR is color, high dynamic range, and it doesn't, there's no performance hit. It's free. As long as your TV supports it and the game supports it, right? To me, HDR is a much bigger deal. 4K, man, we're not there. Unless you've got the money and you're Justin Bieber kind of thing, it's, and you're willing to sink some serious cash into your computer, liquid cool it, get the latest i9, overclock it to like 5 gigahertz and water cool that bitch. You know what I mean? That's how people are running 4K. But our computers, again, it depends. How much money did you spend on the computer, right? Like, apart from the graphics card. If you only paid, 200, like, I don't even know what country you're in again, so currency could be way off. I could tell you $200, and you might think that's a lot of money, and in your currency, that's only $100, right? So that's why it's hard for me to answer your question. I'd have to ask you 50 questions to answer your one question accurately. Which, no offense, I don't really have the time to do right now because I've already been streaming like a lot today. The main thing is letting me know how much you paid for it. How much did you pay for your i7 and your RAM and your motherboard? Like asides from the graphics card. So what did you get for £325? You got the i7 CPU, you got 16 gigs of RAM, you got a motherboard. What else did you get? Did you get like a tower, a power supply for that 325? List me everything you got real quick for £325. And I'm going to convert that to my currency. Oy. That's a lot of money. That's $550 Canadian. Put it this way. Now I've got to do the reverse one. My i7 motherboard, RAM, and tower. In your currency, I'm gonna be selling my computer for like £150. So that gives you an idea. Right? To me, that's a lot of money. For what you're getting, in my opinion. Based on what I'd be letting my computer go. With those exact same specs. £150. 325 is like, oof. That's literally, mathematically, more than double the price. Like I said, I'm not like a, computer expert. I just know a little bit, enough just to get me by. I mean, I build my own computers, but again, that doesn't make me an expert, right? Well, again, I don't know, like, what's your, like I said, it's complicated, like, what's your budget? I'm assuming if you had more money, you would have bought something newer. You wouldn't have bought an i7 6700 from 6 years ago. You would have probably bought something much more recent, right? What was the computer you had before this one? You know what I mean? Was it like a Pentium 2 from 1998? It's all about perspective, right? Like I said, had it been £150, you're not streaming, you're doing 1080p, I would have said, you know what, that's awesome. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of going, ugh, Unfortunately, getting a decent computer that can run nice and play better and look better than a console is expensive. Right? These people that tell you can build a PC cheaper than a console and it looks better, I don't know, man. My graphics card alone was $1,000, you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of money. Well, $950, but whatever with the taxes. Yeah, I paid almost £570 for my graphics card alone. You know what I mean? That's some serious cash. My graphics card is like worth the price of a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X when they're on a small sale. For just the card alone, right? But yeah. Anyhow, I gotta get going. I'm pretty tired. And the stream's dead, to be honest with you. I mean, if there would have been a bit more people, I might have stuck around for maybe an extra 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm just gonna go to bed early. Wake up early. But, yeah, maybe if I have a bit more time tomorrow and you're around somehow, might be able to, I don't know, discuss, how much money you have to spend, what computer you currently have now, blah, blah, blah. It's complicated with computers, and then how long do you plan on keeping it for? Like me, I'm looking to upgrade mine in the next couple of months because I want a new CPU, and the new CPU is a different socket size. It won't fit on my motherboard, blah, 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 blah. Right? So I'm kind of forced to kind of rebuild. But yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night or day. I forget I think it's late in the UK. It's probably like midnight or 2, 3 o'clock in the morning where you are, I'm guessing. But yeah. I shall be around tomorrow if you happen to be around. Take it easy.